Hey guys, this is Christine, your relationship and mindset mastery doctor and your leverage for change. Today I'm going to be speaking about the anxious preoccupied attachment style and kind of give an idea of the how their caregiver would have the behaviors of the caregivers that may lead to this attachment style, and also just give you an idea of how the child would react to this kind of environment. So, for example, someone with a anxious, preoccupied attachment style will have core wounds, such as I am not good enough. I'm not good enough. I feel unworthy of love. I feel unsafe. I'm alone. I don't belong, and they feel rejected and basically as if they don't matter. And so, some of the reasons why they feel this way is because the caregiver could be, for example, it could be a single parent home, right? And that single parent have more than one child. Not only do they have more than one child, even if they don't have another child, the fact is they have to go to work, they have to take care of the home, and they have to take care of the child and other responsibilities that they may have as well. So this person does not have a lot of time to spend with, the child. And maybe when they do have that time, it was really inconsistent. Sometimes they're able to come and they can love on that child and really give them all that they need emotionally, physically, and everything like that. And then at other times, the parent could be really busy and they just could not be there for the child, or they're just tired, or they're not feeling well, or they're just going through some emotional stuff themselves, and so they just don't have that to give their child, right? So this is the kind of a feeling. This is the kind of a parent in the care environment, a caregiver environment, that a child with a anxious, preoccupied attachment style would be in, because at that time they're feeling, if the person does not come when, sometimes they come and they and some when they call, they may cry, and sometimes they just don't show up because they just couldn't, because they may be in the middle of cooking or cleaning or doing something. The next thing is that it could be that it's a two-parent home, but one parent is super consistent with being there for them, but another parent is not. And not only are they not there, they just don't know how to show the emotional connection to the child when they need it. They can't give that to the child. So the child experiences one parent as being consistent, and so they look forward to a parent and just kind of believe, as a child would, that if one parent does it, then both should, So they wonder if, for example, when they do get that kind of a consistency, they feel unloved by the other parent, or even just not sure, just very, very confused, because why, there's one parent who does it and one parent who doesn't. So there's this inconsistency in terms of the fact that one is there for the child and one is not. The other thing that can happen is that perhaps there is an event that happens in the family, and if it's even both parents that's there or one parent, the parent just cannot for themselves even emotionally cope with what's happening. Maybe there's a loss of a job, or there may be a death in the family, and so they just don't have that kind of a emotional thing to give to a child, because they're themselves grieving, and they don't realize that this child is picking up on that as well. And so there's this inconsistency. The sad thing about this attachment style is that this child never, because it's not really, it wasn't, the inconsistency was not to the point that it was detrimental as in the other avoidant groups, and they learned to self-soothe. The anxious preoccupied child did not learn to self-soothe because it was inconsistent, but it was there sometimes. And so the child learned to depend upon his or her parents, for that kind of emotional connection, for that soothing, to soothe them when they're upset or they're scared or they're fearful of something, right? So what you see a child like this does is that the parents, if the parents is not there, then they may cry and cry and cry a lot. These are, the children who cry a lot, looking for attention, but they'll cry themselves to sleep. This is, because they have this need they haven't learned to self-soothe, so they have this need to have someone, usually the caregiver, soothe them, and so they will wait and they'll cry and cry and hope this parent come. And when that parent comes, they will latch on to them and not let them go, because it's like, if I let you go, you're not going to come back. So it's this fear of being left alone and being abandoned, which is one of, a couple of the core wounds that I mentioned earlier, right? And when they're alone, they feel as if they're not worthy of love. They're not valued. They're not. They don't feel as if they're safe, because they're always in this tumultuous kind of emotional upheaval in themselves, because they're not. There's this inconsistent care that makes them feel unsafe. So, it is not that the parent are evil or wicked or anything. Sometimes they don't even realize that these kind of behaviors and these kind of things will affect a child, the way they perceive things. Because remember, when a child is born and when they're like less than 2-3 years old, the prefrontal lobe, which makes sense of behaviors, is not yet connected to the part, the amygdala, that creates this fear, fight, flight, or freeze thing, right? That we all have survival mode. It's not there. So when these feelings come, and they have these feelings and these emotions and these beliefs, it is just accepted as true. They believe this is true, that their parents can't really love them, they are not really cared for, they are unsafe, they are unworthy of love, all these things, and then they become really needy. And so they become these feelings are further just concretized into the subconscious until it becomes how they behave, the belief system that they behave from as they get into relationships, as they get it to be adults, right? So it goes right into their adult relationships, and then of course they're going to behave the same way. So the fear of being that partner leaving them, or the fear that the partner feels that they're not worthy of love or something like that, so they get very clingy. They are always in this mode of neediness and fear of that this person will not love them, or they don't deserve to be loved because of their prior experiences as babies usually, up to about 2-3 years old. The subconscious that was laid, the subconscious map for them that was laid down, was that they're not important because of the inconsistent care that they received from their caregivers. So guys, I hope this kind of gives some kind of an idea of what it is that the environment that it takes to kind of create this type of attachment style. And I hope as parents, or someone thinking to have children, that you can be more aware of some of these things that can cause this kind of attachment style to be laid down into a child's subconscious. All right, guys. So hopefully that will give some kind of an idea. I don't want this video to be too long, but I hope this gives some kind of idea of what it takes, and also for the person suffering from this experience in the subconscious, this attachment style, to kind of understand where that is coming from. It doesn't have to be because their parents were bad people. It's just that they didn't really understand, and they were in a place where they could not be consistently there for the child. And so it was not because they didn't love them or want to care for them, but it was just that circumstances dictated that they had to work, they had to care for maybe other kids, and so they could not be there all the time when this child was really needing them for whatever it may be, maybe a physical attention or emotional attention. All right, guys. So Take care. If you found some value in this, please like and share this video. And please hit that notification bell and please subscribe. This will help my channel to grow and so I can help you even more. My goal is really to help people to reach their highest potential. So in the meantime, guys, take care and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.